Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I will talk about two highly efficient and product managers' favorite prioritization frameworks, RICE and ICE. I will first cover what these are, how to calculate and use these frameworks, and then I will talk about when in actual product management these are most useful. So let's start with RICE first. RICE, it stands for Reach, Impact, Confidence, and Effort. We will explore each of these one by one and then combine them to make that RICE metric. Reach. It is how many users the feature will reach in as simple language as possible. How many customers we are currently expecting to use these features that we are about to build. For example, we have 5,000 active users per month, or maybe we have 200 support agents, or maybe we are in B2B system and we have enterprise customers. So we have 30 enterprise customers in a year. That is how many users or how many clients or customers this feature will reach. The key here is to keep the time frame consistent across all the ideas. Whatever time frame you use, whatever active users a month or enterprise customers a year, any of those key that you pick up, it should be consistent across all of the product ideas that you are about to prioritize using the RICE metric. The next one is impact. Impact is how strongly we as a product manager believe the feature is expected to improve the target metric. It is a prediction based on experience and judgment and the facts that you may or may not have. For example, you may have an old experiment data that can help you guess the impact for your feature that you're about to build. But even if you do not have that, with the experience that you have had in the product management area, you can understand the impact. Example, we add a button or an option that you can call the customer service representative when you're not able to figure out anything in the product, and we know that that is going to give us a high impact. Whereas if we are just moving a button from, let's say, one place in the application to another, that is a low or minimum impact. There is a standard scoring scale that you can use for the impact scoring. So we have 0.25 for minimal impact, 0.5 low impact, 1 for medium, 2 for high, and 3 for massive impact. Massive means transformational impact of the feature that we're about to build. This score reflects the magnitude of the benefit if the feature works as intended. That is where the impact comes. The next one is confidence. It reflects how certain you are about the assumption behind your estimates. If you're building features, even if they are AI based or not, you must do an initial research, even if it's a quick one, before providing confidence in estimates. This helps remove the uncertainty when you're about to score each of your ideas and deciding which one to build. A simple scale is 50% that you have low confidence in your estimates, 50 to 80% that you have medium confidence on whatever the estimates we have provided. We are this much confident that we will be able to build it in this much time. 80% confidence is high confidence, that we are pretty sure that we're going to meet those targets. For AI features, the confidence is especially important because we are building probabilistic models, and because of that, the uncertainty tends to be higher. So we must do some research before we are providing the confidence on each of the AI feature ideas. Then we talk about effort. That is exactly how much, in basic language, how much time our team is going to spend to build that particular feature. The total amount of work basically required to deliver it. It should include contribution of everyone involved to ship that feature. Whether it's an engineer, it's a data scientist, or it's a designer, anybody who is working on delivering that feature end to end, that total effort estimate must be there. You can use any units that is good for your team. You've been using it, could be story points, person weeks, whatever. So you can use, let's say that I will need 4 person weeks, or I will need 2 people per month for this thing. But whatever unit that you're choosing, which your team is comfortable with, just make sure that you're choosing that same unit across all of the features that you are trying to prioritize using the RICE metric. Once you have all of these for each of your ideas, then you create your RICE score, which is reach times impact times confidence upon effort. This is the formula to calculate your RICE scoring. Here is the board where I have ranked a few AI ideas using my RICE score. You can see that I'm evaluating with reach, impact, confidence, and effort. I'm using reach, active users per month. I have the impact scoring from 0.25 to 3. I have confidence scoring for 50%, 50 to 80%, and 80% plus. And I have effort as person weeks. I've chosen that across all of the AI ideas. I've calculated each of the metric accordingly, and I have all the RICE scores. So this is how your RICE scoring board is going to look like when you're working with your product areas. Now let's start with ICE. ICE stands for impact, confidence, and ease. Here the impact is, it measures how much value the feature is expected to create if it works successfully. You ask yourself that how strongly will this improve the target metric? How meaningful is the benefit to the users and the business? That is the impact of the feature that you are about to build. The common scoring scale is 1 to 10. 1 is very low impact, 5 is moderate, and 10 is transformational impact. The next is confidence. It reflects how certain you are that the feature will deliver the expected outcome. So this is based on the user research, you have data that you can analyze, you have technical validations and past experiences. The typical scale for confidence is 1 is you have very low confidence that it's going to give you the expected outcome, where 10 is that you're very confident in a good way that it is going to deliver what we expect it to deliver. Here, E is ease. Ease is measuring, as in simple words, how simple the feature is to implement. The higher the score is, that means that it has low implementation effort because it's easy to build. Here you must have these 3 questions to consider. The one is, how difficult is the technical implementation? Do we already have the required data and infrastructure? And how quickly can we ship that feature? With that, you can have all of your areas or the feature ideas that you have. You can have your ease score from varying on a typical scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very difficult and 10 being very easy to implement. Then you combine these together using the ICE score formula. It's impact time confident time ease. Once you have all of these in front of you for all of the ideas, you get this board. Here you can see that I have used impact, confidence, ease. Impact is a score from 1 to 10. Confidence is again the same, 50%, 50 to 80%, and 80% scoring. And ease is 1 to 10. Then I create the ICE score. Then I can see that the one that is ranking on the first place has the ICE score of 57.60, and it is AI Support Copilot. So this is how your ICE scoreboard is gonna look like. So now you have understood how to calculate these scores for RICE and ICE, but the important thing is to understand when these are useful individually. So the RICE framework is really useful when you are comparing ideas across different product areas. For example, that we have an online shopping application and your different product ideas could be searching and discovering, or the product pages, the checkout and payments area. So all of these are the product areas, and then you can prioritize using the RICE framework. The other one is that you need every idea thought through in a structured way. So every idea is scored to the same set of factors like reach, impact, confidence, and ease, and we are using the structured scoring for each of these scores. Then you have to convince the stakeholders, and you need a defensible plus a clear message to the stakeholders to explain how you have come up with the decision that you are presenting. That's where the RICE framework is really useful. On the other hand, the ICE framework is a quick workaround to that. When you don't know how many users it's going to reach, maybe you're working on a new product itself and you do not know that how many users it's going to bring. So those type of decisions you can use ICE framework for. You don't have the precise data to reach estimates. You are still in the early stages of discovery, as I mentioned, and you want a lightweight framework that gives you a direction that you can work with. That is where ICE framework is really useful. It's quick to do, and it gives you a directional outcome to where you can take the product, basically. So with that, I'm just going to give you the quick recap for this session. So we discussed the RICE framework and the ICE framework. We have RICE being reach, impact, confidence, effort. We use the formula of reach times impact times confidence upon effort. Then for ICE framework, it's impact, confidence, ease. The confidence and impact is scored. The impact is scored differently among the RICE framework and ICE framework. The confidence is slightly varied in terms of what it means, and in RICE framework, E stands for effort, and in ICE, it stands for ease. Then you rank the ideas, and the higher the score, the more attractive that opportunity to build your feature is. As I mentioned, you use RICE when you really have enough data and you need a rigorous stakeholder-friendly prioritization, whereas you can use ICE where you want a faster, lightweight approach and you're comfortable with directional estimates. In practice, more often than you can think of, both of these usually end up giving a similar conclusions, but one is just better for stakeholder friendly prioritization, and the other one is better for when you want a direction where you want to move towards. Hope you like the explanation of RICE and ICE, and when it is used, please hit like, subscribe, and comment, and thank you for watching.